flip it over to finding text evidence. You can log out of your computers. You won't need them anymore today.
I can do this.
All right, guys, finding text evidence. Let me find my page. Awesome. Okay, number 1 says, find the sentence that tells what the most popular sport in the world is, and underlined in blue. So grab your blue marker. Kaden, how do we know what the most popular sport in the world is? Perfect. Underline that in blue. And then grab your green marker. Number 2 says, find the sentence that tells how the two sports are similar. How are football and football or soccer similar? There's one common similarity that our article discusses. One common allowance. Think about the rules of soccer. Where do we find those? Or the layout of the game. The lay of the game. What similarity do football and soccer have? Yes, Christiane. Perfect. Both sports allow 11 players on the field at any time. That's green. All right, your next one is purple. Find the sentence that gives another name for American football. What's another name for American football? Kaden?
Football, also known as American football or gridiron.
Gridiron. Say gridiron.
Gridiron.
Good. Has been around since 1869. And the next one you'll need is gray. And it says, find the sentence that tells which country made the current rules for soccer. Notice it says current rules. China invented the rules. Somebody refined them or changed them to make them better. Yeah, very good, Christiane. So right here, it was Britain that refined the rules about 200 years ago. Mm-hmm. All right, you need your orange marker. It says find one piece of text evidence that shows you that the British prefer to keep their identities unique and separate from Americans. The British want to be set apart from the United States, from America. So how are they going to do that? Yes, Christiane. Oh, sorry. Good. So they stopped using the word association football or association, let's see. Association football, yeah. Okay, wanted to make sure I was on track with you guys. Number 6, find two pieces of text evidence that explain why football is more dangerous than playing soccer. Where can we find information that tells us why football would be considered more dangerous than soccer? It has to do with the physical aspect of the sport. Caden, what do you think?
Because of this, injuries can be more common when there is more controversial than in contact sport like soccer.
Good. And then the sentence before that as well. Football is considered a collision sport, meaning that players purposely hit or collide with each other during typical gameplay. Because of this, injuries can be more common, more serious, and more controversial than in contact sports like soccer. Yeah, 2 sentences for 2 pieces of text evidence. And then I want you to take a pen or a pencil and just draw a little line over controversial like that. Oh, not controversial, collision. Over the top of collision. That way you can still read it, but you know later that we're going to skip it. Number 7, find one piece of text evidence that tells you that football can be harder to understand than soccer. How is football more difficult to understand? What about the game is a little more confusing than soccer? Okay, what about the scoring? So you can score as with a touchdown. How else can you score in football? What? Okay, a touchback. What else? Caden? Good. It's the scoring aspect. In soccer, you kick the ball through the goal and you get a point. In football, there are a couple different ways that you can score, and they're worth different points depending on how you score. And red. Find one piece of text evidence that shows you why playing soccer requires more cardiovascular endurance than playing football. Cardiovascular endurance is being able to run longer and faster than other people. Why in soccer do you need more cardiovascular endurance? Why do you need to be able to run for longer distances better than in football? Yes, Christiane. Good, and then read that next one for us. Good, so in soccer, they start the clock for 45 minutes during the first half and in the second half, and they just play. So they are continuously running up and down the field for those 45 minutes most of the time. Where in football, you have the same amount of clock time, so 45 minutes, oh, no, we don't. So in football, you have 4 15-minute quarters. That's an hour, right? 4 15-minute quarters. In soccer, you have 2 45-minute halves, so that's 90 minutes. So the games are longer in soccer, and you do not stop often in soccer. Very good. Flip over your finding text evidence. We're going to sort phrases. Are you ready? So we're going to sort phrases into figurative and literal language. Let's start with literal. What does the word literal mean? Literal language. Huh? Real, yes. So it says exactly what it means. Yes, so the sky is blue. That's literal. Okay, figurative language. The sky is as blue as the ocean. That's figurative. Okay? Nope, we're in here for a full class period. Okay, so figurative language means that you are exaggerating. You might be comparing two things using like or as. You might be giving something that is not living human characteristics. Okay? Let's think about the phrase, it's raining cats and dogs. Does it literally mean that cats and dogs are falling from the sky?
I hope not, no.
That would be dangerous for everyone involved, right?
Especially the dogs.
What does it mean if it's raining cats and dogs? It's raining really hard outside. Yep. So we know that that's figurative language, and that type of figurative language is called a metaphor. Okay? So up here, write the word metaphor. Metaphor equals comparing two things not using like or as. So our example would be, it's raining cats and dogs.
Hey, 3 dogs do that.
All right.
But sometimes the whole world is going to be filled with animals.
So that's an example of a metaphor. Comparing two things, not using like or as. It's raining cats and dogs. Are we ready? All right. So we're going to take these 6 phrases and sort them into the type of language that they give us, figurative or literal. Number 1, Americans love football like they love hamburgers. Figurative, good. Why is it figurative?
Because how you know everyone loves hamburgers.
Yeah, you're comparing two things using like or as. Can Americans physically eat the game of football?
No.
No. Like they love hamburgers, underline that for me. And then you are going to write simile. Put a box around the word like. Yep, simile. It kind of looks like the word smile.
Yeah, just put the extra eye.
Number 2, scoring in football is infinitely more complicated than soccer. Yeah, I don't love this one. Infinitely means forever and ever and ever. It's just more complicated, but we're going to say literal here because it is more complicated. Mm-hmm. Number 3, it's the most popular sport in the entire world. Which one is it and why? Why is it literal? Yep, it is what it is. You can support that with data, correct? Number 4, sports memorabilia greets you at the door. Figurative. Why is it figurative? Oops. Do team sweatshirts stand at the door and shake your hand as you come in? No. Underline memorabilia greets you at the door. Put a box around greets. Memorabilia, like collectible items or things that represent sports. So like sweatshirts, hats, bobbleheads, water bottles, phone cases, pop sockets, pens, glasses, cups. Yep. So you need to know that sports memorabilia greets you at the door is figurative language, and it is a type of personification. So sports memorabilia is not a living thing, right? They're just objects. So can it greet you? No, only humans can greet you. Like, shake your hand. Oh, hi, welcome to English.
But I can't do that.
Yes, Kaden. Say that again. Okay, what's number 5? Soccer has been around since the beginning of time. Oh, It does have has. You're right that it's figurative. Underline since the beginning of time. Has soccer actually been around like let there be light, let there be soccer? Is that how it worked? No. Light and animals and people were around for a few days before soccer came into existence, right? So that is called hyperbole. You should be writing these down. Hyperbole means that you are exaggerating.
Okay, I found the problem. I was using a comb, but that wasn't from school.
That could be.
Okay, I have a question about this. What does it mean by possible effects of the Yellowstone supervolcano?
So because the Yellowstone supervolcano is on Earth, what could happen because of that?
If it explodes.
Okay. And then what? So there's
a lot of ash.
Okay, there are 6 reasons that are listed in an article. You need to give me 3 here.
Right.
And then the other 3 you'll discuss down here.
Right.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay. So like, if you put like would
The 2 that you told me? Yes.
would earthquakes work?
Mhm.
These
These right here do not have to be in complete sentences.
Okay.
This one does. Okay?
Right.
Awesome. Okay, number 6. After each touchdown, a team can score 1 extra point by successfully kicking the ball through the goalpost. Figurative or literal?
literal.
Literal. Nothing fancy about that, right? Cool. All right, let's look down at part B. We're going to use numbers 4 and 5 in our practice. So if you need to write 4 and 5 down here, so that way you know where to look. 4 and 5. So you'll copy those phrases down here. Mm-hmm. All right, so sports memorabilia greets you at the door. Is that simile, metaphor, hyperbole, or personification? We wrote this down already. Sports memorabilia greets you at the door. What type of figurative language is that? Nope. We wrote it down. Okay, sports memorabilia greets you at the door. What did we write down up above? Personification, very good. Personification. So what does that mean? Sports memorabilia greets you at the door. Does it actually stand at the door? No. What does it mean? Does it mean you might see it pretty frequently? If something greets you at the door, You see them right away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you often see sports memorabilia in places you go. All right, soccer has been around since the beginning of time. What type of figurative language is that, Christiane? Yes, hyperbole. Say hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
That means it's over exaggerated. What does it actually mean? Soccer has been around since the beginning of time. It doesn't actually mean that soccer was created the day after light, right?
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been around for a very, very long time.
It's so much easier to write without taking out the paper, taking out the paper and then put that on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, when you're done, look back in your article. Flip it over to the back side. In the first paragraph, the last sentence, it says, regardless, while football once had similar rules to rugby, football eventually morphed. Put a little slash in the word morphed. That way you can still read it, but you'll know to skip over it later. So what you're going to do now is take all of the bolded words in our article and list them out on this activity here. This should actually say part C. Yep. So go through and write those words. Make sure you spell them correctly.
The ones that are dark.
Yes, the bolded words.
Which one should have been using the red paper and writing it down?
I want you to write it on this paper here.
So like writing it down and then writing it back down, or down on that paper.
That sounds like doing double the work. You should just write it down one time instead of twice. Does that make sense? Instead of flipping back and forth. And then when you have that done, you are ready for class on Friday. Mm-hmm. Nope, we'll do that on Friday. We'll do our definitions on Friday.